There's countless stories of World War II, and that includes those that were captured. A Wisconsin family is putting one of those stories on full display in Clark County. First News at 9's Daniel Gomez sharing why the prisoner of war brought back mementos from his time in captivity.
He was a solid guy that just, it's hard to say. If there was a crowd, he was always the one telling jokes, and people liked him.
We would joke with each other and our children as they grew up, saying that I don't know if there was another POW that took more home from camp than my dad.
This is the legacy Carl Norden of New Richmond leaves behind. Now for the world to see at the High Ground Veterans Memorial Park Museum by Neilsville.
Well, I was just speechless, I guess, because having a family of a World War II prisoner of war, just to share the story, is so important.
That story is all in his book, We Were Next to Nothing. Now surrounded by his uniform, old diary, pictures, and even his prisoner tags, 334. Decades before, his daughters Carlene and Susan only knew of the lighter moments in captivity, often told through their dad's fellow prisoners.
There were 4 of them that were especially close, and it was always a good time because they laughed about stories that were humorous, and there was laughter in the camp. Sometimes they did try to trick their guards and did successfully, like getting a chicken home on the train.
I don't think I knew the depth of it until he wrote his book, and he was 80 when he started writing his book. And he had taken notes in a diary written on the back of cigarette papers and buried it at each camp, and then dug it up when they switched to another camp.
Those cigarette papers telling the story of uncertainty, not knowing if it would be a good day or his final day. Despite the constant worry that stretched for more than 3 years, he never left with ill will toward anyone.
Well, one thing, he even though he had 3 worst years of his life in the Philippines, he did love the country.
Having refused to remain captive after regaining the freedom he swore to never take for granted again.
He went back in 1977 for a reunion with the POWs and the guards from Japan. They were invited by President Marcos to the Philippines because many of them were captured in the Philippines. And a lot of the guys couldn't go because they just mentally couldn't handle that. But he was never bitter. He was a very forgiving, he lived his faith.
In Clark County, Daniel Gomez, First News at 9.
Carl Norden lived to his early 90s. He died in 2005. His daughters say the doctors gave him so many years less because of the medical complications that came from being a prisoner of war. He lived long enough to tell the tale and raise his family.